Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
Dear Lord, the battles we go through life.
We ask for a chance is fair.
We ask for a chance is fair.
Chance to equal our stripes.
Chance to equal our stripes.
Chance to do it there.
Chance to do it there.
We should win.
We should win.
Let it be by the code.
Let it be by the code.
Faith and honor held high.
Faith and honor held high.
We should lose.
We should lose.
Stand by the road.
Stand by the road.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Cheers, the winners go by.
Day by day.
Day by day.
We get better and better.
We get better and better.
Till we can't beat beat.
Till we can't beat beat.
Won't beat beat.
Won't beat beat.
All right, welcome to the second episode of Husker Football Archive. We're going to do something on the 2021 review of Nebraska's football season. My name is Mike. This is my buddy Doug.
Hello.
We've been friends since 1991, I want to say. So 30 years, Doug.
Wow.
I didn't get you nothing, though.
I didn't get you anything either. Sorry.
Good. Well, I haven't made you pay your past friendship dues, so
Oh, that's right.
that's the kind of guy I am. All right, we're going to get into the Illinois game, and I did do a running total of the points that the point swing that we lost when the team did something wrong that hurt the team. So here we go with the highlights of Nebraska at Illinois in the opening game. It's kind of choppy. And that was the punt that.
Yeah, you usually, if you're standing on the goal line, you usually don't want to catch those.
No,
you kind of want to run.
It goes
from
past
them.
the 10. You're supposed to let go, aren't you? I mean,
I think, yeah.
Taylor-Britt is a great cornerback, but
Okay, so they'll say
that's-
special teams was an error there.
yeah, a 2-point. They gave up 2 points there. So Nebraska kicking a field goal. Carnicle.
Oh, I thought that was an extra point to make it 7-2.
No,
Oh, wow.
he missed the field goal. And maybe no, that's right. That's an extra point because now it's 3 points total that they've lost. You're right.
See, now that's where Martinez should have just hit him right in the numbers. He's wide open and he overthrows. That's what I'm saying earlier. He was very good, but he just couldn't find a way to win.
And they're still down low, and then they're probably going to have to kick a field goal here. And over 6'9", Austin Allen is a future NFL player as far as I'm concerned. That guy's awesome. And Culp kicking a field goal.
You sure?
Chip shot.
You sure? Oh.
And 7 points lost so far. 7-point swing. Okay, Illinois. Now, this is a big, we thought it was a big play because Britt intercepted, right?
Right. I've seen a lot of that over the last 4 years.
So, Caleb Tanner got a roughing the passer, and I think he got a taunting play. So that it negated the interception, gave him 30 more yards, and let's see what happened.
Jeez.
That is 30 yards worth of penalties instead of the interception.
Wipes away. Roughing the quarterback is not reviewable. Targeting is. You're going to see Tanner at the bottom of your screen. A perfect line stunt to get home.
You know, I didn't really think that was.
I
I didn't see that, but still, you got taunting, man, and
Yeah, don't taunt.
you know, you can want to say refs caused this problem. I don't know. That's a questionable call, but you know, it is what it was, and then they went on to score a touchdown. That would never have happened if they got the interception.
Right.
Epstein did not kill himself.
Kramer does an awesome job of getting underneath Daniels right there. That is good on good. Captain on captain. And after the play.
So you can argue that this was, you know, another 7-point swing that.
What did Illinois end up at?
Oh,
What was
we'll
the
finish it.
Oh.
14-point swing so far. 14 points gone. And Martinez fumbled. And here we go.
That's kind of
one
the
play
plays we
that's
used to
that's
do.
on Adrian Martinez, and he would agree with that, I'm sure. One of many. But
Yeah.
I would say the rest of the team made more than he did, though.
I'm not sure why he ran up the middle.
Well,
What do I
he
know?
should be protecting the ball, and he didn't, and they got a cheap touchdown out of it. So, as you can see, this is why Nebraska lost this game. So,
Looked like he was ready to kind of pitch it forward to somebody there for a second. That may be why he fumbled, but I don't know.
warning.
Oklahoma.
And he missed a 50-yard attempt. So, this is against Oklahoma, which is a tough field goal. But Henry seemed to make them all the time. But this guy was a Big Ten kicker of the year last year.
The Browns made him.
And he missed again.
shanked
So
the
that's a
hell out of that
6-point
one.
swing. And that was a nice play by Martinez there. He played really well that game. You were here watching it with me. That was one of his better games. It really was. The field goals were the ones that cost him the most, the
Yeah.
kicking part. But he outplayed Spencer Radler. And then they bring in a backup kicker, and for the extra
Shanked.
point, and look what happened. So another.
Oh, they
point.
get 2 points, don't they?
This,
Yeah, I
this,
remember
ra-
this.
this rarely ever happens in football. It really does. And so that's a 9-point swing that
That's
Nebraska's
sad.
lost here. So this was a winnable game too. And here's Michigan State.
Do we want to see this punt again?
Now
Look at that to the left. I know it's so
but,
easy to see
there was
that.
there was a guy who missed his block though.
I didn't see
It
that.
was an offensive lineman missed his block, and I didn't do a replay on it. But
I'm kicking it right, everybody.
Yeah, wait. Oh my goodness! Nebraska was dominating this game. Gave up 7 yards in the second half. They didn't get They got more yards in overtime against us than they did in the second half. This should have been a win easily.
Just shank it that
This was
bad.
the best Husker defense I've seen them play since I would say 2009.
Aren't you seeing a lot of special teams there?
7-point swing there, big guy. Yeah, it's special teams. It was the main problem, and Martinez in overtime here. Martinez had a fairly decent game, except for the
Interceptions?
right here. Second, 3rd and 3, and he tries to fire it in, and the guy read his eyes and almost. But Martinez did make a nice tackle to save the touchdown. He just threw his body at him. Watch that, boom. Don't remember. Now here's Michigan, another winnable game, and Nebraska. Martinez had a great game till the very last play.
The guy had to wait for it, though. If you hit him in stride, it might have. I don't know.
But here's a 3rd and 2. And Michigan, he's got a good defense, and they shut it down there. So you could probably say, if we had a little bit better offensive line play, not that these guys aren't good. I mean, they have some highly recruited guys on that line, but maybe different coaches can teach them something different here, a little bit more. And 4th and 2, instead of kicking a field goal,
Yeah, I didn't get that.
we didn't get no points. 3-point swing. It'd been nice to get the touchdown, but. And that interception hurt and no score. And if he would throw it higher, maybe Allen could have got it because of his height. But
Yeah, late and behind. It's just I just never thought he.
that was a great play. Yeah. Now this guy didn't miss a kick. 6-point swing because of the turnover there.
I think he had a mustache, didn't he? That's probably why.
And this was a questionable play down here. I don't know if I got the highlight, but yeah, it was. They called pass interference on Jojo Dolmen, and that was not a catchable ball. It landed out of bounds in the
Yeah, like
so
The back of the end
that was
zone?
called pass interference, but the one against Wisconsin that we won't see here because I didn't get those in here. But so what happened here? And I think Jojo Dolmen's an NFL player. He's going to be playing on Sunday. That guy's got a lot of fire and tenacity. And so, Michigan goes on to score. Now, that was a second down play. Maybe they would have held him to a field goal, So that's another
Possibly.
4-point swing, basically, of that penalty. The difference in the game was 3. So, 10-point swing so far.
Yeah.
That you're leaving out there. And it's tied up at 29, and Martinez is going up the middle. Gets the first down on 3rd and 1.
Oh, he fumbled?
Yeah, he fumbled. And, I thought maybe they were going to call for forward progress, but there was no whistle. And it's like Martinez besides the interception, had a fantastic game.
Yeah, you'd think
He
by
was
then.
like 11 out of 12 at one point in the second half, where they really – I didn't show all the great things that they did. I'm just showing the parts where key points in the game where it was lost. And they kick a field goal with 1:24 left to play in the game. 13-point swing because of the turnover there. Martinez.
These poor kids.
It's Samari Torre. I wish he had him.
See right there. There's
That
a
guy,
good throw.
that guy's one of the best receivers we've had in a long time. He goes Stanley Morgan and J.D. Spillman,
What about my guy at the Jets?
Oh, Quincy was good, but he
Yeah,
didn't put up
thank
these
you.
kind of numbers at Nebraska.
No.
And the offensive lineman, number 63, missed his block. And earlier in the game, Ramir Johnson scored. Now, this was a hard game to watch. We're trailing 14-3, and we get back in it with Ramir Johnson. I think he played really well this year. He was hurt the last couple of games.
Yeah, he looks good.
And he botches the extra point. So there's 1 point we don't have at the end of the game here.
Left here in the third. Here's Johnson again. Breaks it open in the open. Open field. Johnson inside the 10 and brought down at the 6 by Jordan Howden.
Nebraska was turning the tables here on him.
10 carries, 82 yards as Martinez
And Martinez gets down to the 1.5-yard line. About ready to take the lead, so we thought. And Johnson, he's kind of tiny, and I'm not sure why they gave it to him, but
You don't have a bigger back?
up the middle on the goal line, so they bring in Yant, right? 3rd and goal. Martinez couldn't get it, questionable there.
He didn't cross the goal
He did
line?
not. He did not, and according to the refs, he didn't. And now they're going to give it to Yant, and he would have scored,
And
but
he
he tripped.
stumbles.
He tripped. So, 8-point swing. We lost by 7. Okay?
Oh, here's another
Here's
one.
another field goal.
And that looks like an extra point.
It does, doesn't it? Connor had a tough, but he had a hip flexor
flexor.
most of the year. So
I've never
Nebraska's
had
still
one
in
of
the game, driving again, or they're about ready to go again. No, this was a key play, and Martinez backs up down there.
Is this a safety?
He backs up into the end zone. So this is one of his bonehead plays of the game.
See, there's been didn't we have like 5 safeties against us this year? That's the second one.
We
I
had
remember.
several. I'll just say that. I don't know the exact count. So now we're going to go to Purdue.
Oh, geez.
Nebraska was controlling this game early on, and then gave him a pick 6. He had a tough day that day.
Yeah.
That was probably
That's an understatement.
And that's a 7-point swing, and 7 points we can't afford to give up these days, especially when we're
3-9.
exactly. So they tie it up, and then that's all the key plays there, except there was one play right before halftime. You didn't see this game, did you?
I didn't.
The one clip play right before halftime, Nebraska had the ball on like the 46-yard line of their own 46, and Turry was wide open, and he lost it in the sun and just barely missed it, and it would have been a touchdown. Just close. And, you can see by watching these how frustrating it is.
Oh, yeah, definitely. These poor kids, too. I mean, but it's more frustrating for them.
I feel bad for Frost because they feel, based on the improvements in many categories that we covered in the last episode, that what more do I have to do? It's like there's a curse. You can see there's coaching going on in a lot of areas. Obviously not special teams or kicking.
Let's be real.
But let's be real. But,
Special
like
teams.
at Ohio State, which was the following week, and I don't have video on that, Nebraska missed 2 field goals. It was a 9-point game, but Nebraska missed a field goal late in fourth quarter that would have made it a 3-point game. It was 4th and 4 deep in their territory. If they could have got a touchdown, and the other field goal that they missed earlier in the game. And then in Wisconsin, Nebraska put up a ton of yards. And Martinez played hurt the second half with his shoulder problem. And then did you see the pass interference that wasn't called?
I did not see that.
I don't have the highlight up here, but
Damn.
It was the pass to Xavier Betts, and then Nebraska was driving. There was a holding call earlier that they were down deep, and that put them at 1st and 20. And then they threw it to Betts like on the goal line, and it should have been pass interference. Dolmen should not have been. It was not a catchable ball. So who knows? They're close, and then they're
competitive. I mean, that helps.
And then they gave it. And then you had Jojo Dolmen was out, and so was Deontay Williams against Wisconsin. So they may have made a difference in stopping those long runs that the freshman sensation did. But the last game against Iowa, up 21-6 going into the fourth quarter, and they lose 28-21. And it's of all the teams I wanted to beat was the Hawkeyes. I hate the Hawkeyes. I live in Iowa, but I hate the Hawkeyes.
It's true.
I enjoy watching Iowa State play, but I hate the Hawkeyes. Did you know, though?
I don't have.
And now we're going to get back to talking 2020. In your opinion, where did Scott Frost go wrong? What name something that you think that maybe he should have done differently when he came to Nebraska? If you can think anything off the top of your head.
Well, I'm not, down in the program and invested recently that much. Well, that's a good question. Something about what he said this year that next year he wants to be more the CEO type. Mm-hmm. What does that mean, do you think, to you? That he was too lax with them?
Being able to get his hands on to more things without being tied down to one thing. As far as I'm delegating, he's a manager, delegating his authority. I have
so he can be into every little thing and watch.
Right, make sure everything's running the way it needs to be run, and so he's going to step away from that. Because, some people I've seen online and Facebook and stuff that they think Frost doesn't know. He's a terrible play caller. Is like, okay, people, Oregon offenses when Frost was there were top notch.
UCF?
Central Florida was unbelievably great.
Yeah, it's hard to.
He didn't all of a sudden forget how to coach. But as far as I'm concerned, I could be wrong. It's just my opinion. Maybe the thing that he did wrong the most when he came here was bringing all his buddies with him, rather than people that were
cronies.
Because there were a lot of young people that were new to coaching and stuff like that. Didn't have a lot of experience that he brought with him.
Like Callahan bringing Cosgrove? Yeah.
Right. Well, Cosgrove wasn't bad like in 2000 and I think when they had Carricker and stuff and DeMario Williams. And but he he wasn't. But he just got really bad, and Callahan didn't do, and that's what I think. Probably got Pelini fired because he kept Papuchis around, and he always brought in buddies rather than the people that might challenge. And that's what I like. What Frost has done now is that he's bringing in people with a different voice, because different ideas.
Maybe Mickey Josephs will be the next head coach.
I don't know if that's what he aspires to do or be, but he's a good coach. He's got a great track record.
So far, it sounds like he's a good hire, so we'll see.
All right.
He knows the South, I guess.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all the games that Nebraska let slip through their hands. Gosh, if instead of being 0-9 in those games, even if they would have gone 3-6, that would have led to a 6-6 season in those games, or 4-5, 7-5. When's
the last time they've been in a bowl game?
2016 season. No.
Brutal.
Yeah, because I know Riley
year.
took him. He took him one year when they were 5-7 because there wasn't enough teams that were eligible. So
that's right. So it's got to be
they beat up on
ago?
UCLA. So and then they did get to a bowl game against Tennessee that year, and they got clocked.
Clocked, of course.
But that's it for episode number 2. In the next episode, we're gonna go over some Huskers in pro football. We're gonna profile some people and how their careers went in the NFL or other leagues, not just the NFL, because not everybody succeeded in the NFL. Some went on to play, in the
XFL,
CFL. I don't have any XFL highlights on the next couple of videos, but
WFL?
I do have some CFL highlights. I do have a UFL highlight.
UFL, that's it.
You
got ZFL?
There is no ZFL. There is the USFL is coming back.
It is.
I plan in the future to do some Rozier highlights from his pro career in the NFL and the USFL, because he started off in the USFL. So, but
I was down on that.
Some of the highlights, they were hard to find
when he made it.
But we'll be back on episode 3 fairly soon. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.